Welcome to another production of Park TV 16 Sports on location. This afternoon, we are on the beautiful campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's High School, bringing you live action. Varsity girls softball featuring the Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights taking on their cross 100 rival, St. Louis Park High School. A storied rivalry, two high schools in the same conference, just a couple miles apart as the crow flies, and we are bringing it to you here tonight on Park TV 16 Sports. Glad you're with us. My name is Robert Christensen, and on the mound for the Red Knights is their stellar ace pitcher, number 15, Tibby Hessian. She comes in with a 2.65 ERA, just finishing her last warm-up toss. And we'll be getting underway here very quickly, and due up for the Orioles, Ava Tabior. She's batting .364 and playing center field. Sadie Lund batting .333 average, number 11, playing left field, and she'll be followed by Ella Wend batting .143. She's number 13 in the second baseman. So Tabior, Lund, and Wend to lead it off. Tabior, the left-hander, to face Hessian. Last time we were here at Park TV 16 Sports, it was a classic contest. I think it went, 14 innings, something like that, against Kennedy when Benilde finally pulled it out in a pitcher's duel for the ages. And we're underway here. That first pitch was a ball, and now the second pitch is hit into the gap between right and center, and Tabior's gonna have a stand-up double, and she's gonna go for three. Here comes the throw. They hold up, and she slides in, and what a start for the Orioles, and Ava Tabior hitting .364 with a lead-off triple. Next up, Sadie Lund. Temperature here, 65 degrees in St. Louis Park. But the big factor are the winds, 17 miles an hour due straight out of the west. You can see the flags are going straight out to left center field. If one gets one up in that jet stream, it's gonna carry, and we could see a home run or two before this one is over, as that first pitch to the number 2 hitter, Sadie Lund, is a ball. So Hessian gives up the leadoff triple, so a runner in scoring position for the Orioles, as they come in with a 5-11 record. Benilde-St. Margaret's 8-7. And that pitch is a ball. So the count now 2-1 to Sadie Lund. Just underway here at McQuinn Athletic Complex. And there's a bunt, and it's going to be fouled off to the left side. So trying to get on base there, or maybe force a fielder's choice. If they try to throw it at first, that gives Tabior an excellent opportunity to get that first run across. Pitch on away, swing and a miss, high strike. She gets her flailing at it, and that's a strikeout for Hessian, and out number 1. It would be a shame if St. Louis Park can't get that runner across here. Be a huge momentum shift towards Benilde if they get out of this without her coming across. Pitch on away now to the number 3 hitter, Ella Wend. She's batting a .143. Following her will be Georgia Rose. How do you love that name? She's batting .333, playing first base, batting 4. And if she reaches after Wend, it'll be Cameron Hawley batting .500. So the meat of the order certainly is that for the St. Louis Park Orioles. Ella Wend now looking at 2 strikes with 1 out in the top of the first. Runner on third base, courtesy of a 3-baser by Tabior. Pitch on away, and Wend way behind that pitch. So a 3-pitch strikeout for Hessian. She makes quick work of Ella Wend. And now first baseman Georgia Rose batting .333. Number 10, the first baseman, looking to get something on that pitch, and she was on that one as she fouls it nearly straight back. Good swing put on that pitch by Georgia Rose, the right-hander. Strike 1 though, the count now, 2 outs here in the top of the first. That runner still on third base, that pitch, and now it gets by the catcher, and now the play at the plate, and she is safe. Wow, Hessian thought she got her, and the tag was, oh wow, that was close. I thought the throw was there, but I think the tag wasn't put on Tabior, and there she's in the dugout getting that critical first run. Here's the play. Here comes Hessian. She's right there. The throw is there early, and I think the hand got in there before the tag. I think that's a great call by the home plate umpire. So 1-0 Orioles on the road at St. Louis, at Benilde. Swing and a miss by Rose. Strike 2, so the count is even at 2 with 2 outs. So Tabior's triple pays off, combined with the wild pitch by Hessian, but Orioles get that first one across, so after a half inning complete, our score 1-0 here from McQuinn Athletic Complex. And I was watching Hessian walk off the mound, and she was not happy about that initial half inning. And the faces are very serious over there on the Benilde bench. You gotta believe that this game means a lot more to both these schools just because of their proximity. That's what I think makes it extra dramatic. And the Red Knights should be favored. They have a better record, 8-7 versus 5-11. And I'll also point out that St. Louis Park, they're coming in on a 5-game losing streak. So you gotta think they are itching to get back in the winning column. As Bud Grant, former Vikings coach, used to say, it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And when you're playing a team that's desperate for a win in a hyped up game like this, a high rivalry game, it could be the Orioles' night on the road, but we'll see what the Red Knights have in store in their half of the bottom of the first. As we look at the outfield for St. Louis Park, on the mound is Gabby Fadden. Her ERA is much higher than Hessian. She's a 5.14 ERA. So if you're a batter for the Red Knights, you're licking your chops to get after Miss Fadden here with that big fat ERA. But she's warming up here, and this is why they play the game. Remember now, we've got winds coming right out of the west. And there is the sun in play. That did impact the game we brought you against Kennedy a few weeks ago. The sun caused a run actually out there in left field. You gotta learn how to play that fly ball with that sun out there. And I do note that the left fielder for the Orioles, number 11, Sadie Lund, doesn't seem to have any sunglasses or a hat. She's gonna use her glove as a visor, which she's doing right now. Okay, we're underway here, bottom of the first. 1-0 our score, and up to bat is Sophie Melsness. She's batting .365, the shortstop. She'll be followed by Ellie Porch, the center fielder, batting .468, and then the pitcher, Hessian, batting .462. First pitch, a strike from Fadden. That pitch is right on the money, and she burns the center fielder, and she takes it all the way over dead center field. So Sophie Melsness on 2 pitches answers right back with a dead home run shot. That's one of the sweetest home runs I've ever seen here in girls softball. She was on that pitch, and it was a no-doubter, just straight out of here. Watch this. Bang. She hardly swung at that, and that's when you know you've caught it right. That thing got out in a hurry. The center fielder, all she could do was turn and look. She hit that on the sweet spot of that bat. Got right out in front of it, perfect timing. Probably one of the best swings she's ever made in her life, I would estimate there. That was just perfect. Now Fadden will face Ellie Porich. She is the center fielder. We're tied at 1 here, bottom of the first, nobody out. Second batter up for the Red Knights. Lund, she'll be followed by Tibby Hessian, and that pitch is a strike from Fadden. So she's ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes to number 23 for the Red Knights, Ellie Porich. Batting .468, looks at that pitch, fouls it high and back and out of play. So count now is 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ellie Porich. Hessian on deck, nobody on after the leadoff home run by Sophie Melsness. That pitch misses outside. 2-2 the count. Fadden, a right-hander. All the infielders wearing masks. I don't know if that's mandatory or not, and look at that pitch. She took something off of it, as way in front was Ellie Porch, and Fadden comes back and gets the strikeout. So great back and forth here in this match. Triple by Orioles leads to a run, then answered by a home run, and then Fadden comes back and gets a strikeout to answer that back. And now Hessian, she's gonna be looking to get a good swing here. I still think she has a bad taste in her mouth about that play at the plate, just my speculation. All right, pitch on away, righty to lefty. That's swung on, that's going to left center and coming in and maybe fighting that Sun was Lund. She looked a little tentative as she came in, and Hessian didn't get very much on that. It was kind of a pop fly to short left field, and that Sun is visible. It's mostly cloudy, but you can see the shadows, and she comes in and she's just, yeah, she lost it in the sun. Yeah, she's just guessing. She didn't want it to hit her in the face, and that is a tough thing to handle out there fighting that Sun. It's something you've really got to practice, and I'm really surprised she doesn't have a hat and sunglasses out there for sure. But if she prefers to do it that way, and if you're going to come up that way and not use it, then you got to have your glove up there to block the sun and then quick turn it and use it to guide it right to the ball while you're blocking the sun. So you can do it without a hat and sunglasses, but that's how you got to play it, is have that glove up there as a visor and then be ready to open it and catch the ball right when it comes to you. So that first pitch to the number 4 hitter is Brooklyn Riley, I should say. She steps in, she gets 1 strike. Runner on first base, though, as Hessian reaches, and there is a pinch runner for her out there. And that ball is swung on. And it is caught for out number 2. And that will bring up number 12, Maggie Wozniak. Nice play by the Orioles for out number 2. So we're tied here at 1. Runner on first base. And at the plate, number 12, batting .326 on the year, the catcher, Maggie Wozniak. Strike call right at the knees. As Wozniak looks down to the third base coach to get the sign. There she is right there. Okay, lots of signs there. She looks at her wrist. All right, pitch on away from batting the 0-1 offering. Swung on and missed another off-speed pitch, and they throw her out at second base. I'm not even waiting for the umpire's call on that one. And the catcher for the Orioles, Victoria Schmelzel, guns down the runner at second to retire the side. And after 1 complete, we're tied at 1 from the Quinn Athletic Complex on the campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's. Glad you're with us on a beautiful spring night. 65 degrees and very windy. Although our field down here is sort of protected by an apartment building or some sort of maybe administrative building, or I don't know if Benilde owns that building or not. They might, but it does block a little bit of the wind, but it doesn't block the sun. It's only 2 stories right behind us. And due up for the Orioles, as I look up, it looks like Catherine Hawley will lead it off. She's batting .500, playing shortstop, followed by Sam Meyer at third. She's batting .364, and up third in their half of the second, the Orioles will be calling Cora Zumbrunnen, batting .462. So some good batting averages coming up here for the Orioles. See if they can get on the excellent pitcher for Benilde, Tibby Hessian, as she starts her warm-ups out there, and now she completes them with the throw down by Wozniak to second base, ready to get going here in the top of the second. Fadden, the pitcher for the Orioles, will not be batting, so they'll have a designated player. That's Zumbrunnen. She's basically the designated hitter. All right, now Cameron Halley steps in, the right-hander, takes a swing down third baseline, foul. Strike 1. Good crowd on hand here in both bleachers, both for the Orioles and the Red Knights. I noted when Victoria Schmelzel was announced in the starting lineup, she's got a strong contingent of fans. And that ball's popped up to the catcher, Wozniak. She takes a step back and easily gets the put out for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down for the Orioles. Now stepping in, number 15, Sam Meyer, the third baseman, batting .364. Pitch on away. Ball 1. That looked like a strike, but I'm just a bit off to the right. Probably at a 30-degree angle over the right shoulder of the umpire. Got a good look at the plate, especially when there's a right-hander up there. Now that ball is swung on and fouled straight back, just got a piece of it. As I used to say, when I was growing up, we called it a tick ball, but I never hear that term anymore. He ticked it. It's kind of what she did now. She swung on that one and just got it off the tip of her bat. So 2 strikes, 1 ball will remain the count. 1 out here, top of the second, nobody on. Cameron Haley, the batter, batting .500. That ball swung on. Is it going to be fair down the right field line? No, just foul, but that ball was hit well. Had it been down, it would have been extra bases for Haley for sure. Here's the replay. All right, the count remains 1-2. Swung on, back and a little to the right, off the backstop. Count still remains 1-2, so Haley hanging in there. She's becoming a very difficult out. Although these pitchers' arms never get tired. As Hessian, when we were here last against Kennedy, she went the full distance, 13, 14 innings, and a nice shot there by Haley as the third baseman was cheating up the line there, and Haley took advantage with a sharp shot between third and short for a base hit. Here's that replay. Yeah, diving, the third baseman for Benilde couldn't quite come up with it, and she seemed a little bit far in. It was noticeable to me, and I think that cost her. Had she been back a couple giant steps at right even with third base, she might have had a chance to get that one. Now, stepping up is Cora Zumbrunnan. She's the designated hitter. She's batting .462. It's 1 out only here. In the top of the second, strike 1 the call, and that foul tip. Zumbrunnan, should she reach, Victoria Schmelzel, the catcher, who threw out the base runner to retire the side in the last inning, will be up next. That ball's in the dirt, and now Haley's gonna take advantage, and she's gonna go to second base, so that's 2 pass ball. That would be more of a pass ball. I think the first one that went to the backstop between Hessian and Wozniak being the catcher, Hessian the pitcher, was a wild pitch, but a couple of errors there by Benilde. Now swung on, pop, infield, fly, caught. The second baseman came over nicely. Had to negotiate the first base there, but was able to get the put out. Marina von Hoff, nice play, especially with this wind. Keep in mind, when that ball is up there, there's 17-mile-an-hour winds out there, which is very significant in my estimation. Now 2 outs though. Haley on second, so a base hit could score her. As stepping in is Schmelzel, and Schmelzel yet to get her first hit on the year. Swung on, and she does get their first hit of the year. She was batting zeros on the stats that I had, and that might be her first base hit of the season. That's gotta feel good if she did, and it was well hit, much like Haley's, a carbon copy. Amazing. Great, sharp shot. That's twice now they've burned the third baseman right in that same hole. So now we have runners at the corners, 2 outs, and now up to bat. The number 9 hitter, Rowan Jansen, the right fielder, batting .200. Lefty versus righty with a chance to make it hurt here with 2 outs if they can get that runner home from third to take back the lead 2-1. Okay, lots of drama here in the top of the second. Red Knights versus Orioles. Pitch on away from Hessian, swung on. Fouled back as Rowan Jansen likes that running, swinging technique that you sometimes see in girls softball. Let's see if that's her normal. Yes, it is. You can see her start to step up in the box, and that's going to be a strike call. So now quickly, 2 strikes on the number 9 hitter, Jansen, batting .200. Boy, she just needs to make some sort of contact here. Make them play the ball. Maybe something good happens. She goes down for the bunt, and they called that a ball. She pulled back just in time. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. Rowan looking down for the sign. Looked like that was intended for the runner on first base. Left side of the infield in for the Red Knights, and she goes down, and that's another ball as Rowan Jansen backs off. So 2-2, she's worked the count back to even, and the drama builds even more. 2-2, 2 outs, top of the second. Number 9 hitter Jansen with a chance to sweep one across, swings and misses, and Hessian gets the strikeout. And Strands 2 in the top of the second. So the Orioles threaten, but do not score in their half of the second. And due up next for the Red Knights, I believe, will be Maddie Murray, Kylie Wagner, and Caitlin Colbert, the number 6, 7, and 8 hitters, due up to face Gabby Fadden. We're 1 apiece here after 1.5 complete from McQuinn Athletic Complex on a gorgeous spring evening. It's much greener than it was just a week ago. We had lots of rain and then lots of sunshine, and now we're starting to wake up spring around here, and it's been a delayed spring, and we had lots of warm temperatures a week ago, and now it's kind of getting a little chillier again, much to my disappointment. But again, it's only May in Minnesota. We could still have snow by Memorial Day weekend next week, I imagine, but I hope not. As Fadden continues to take her warm-up pitches, and we're looking around at some of the decorations around the field here. And now, looks like they've completed the warm-up pitches. And one of the umpires is talking to a coach for the Orioles. And it looks like we're going to get going here, but I feel there's some sort of issue being discussed by the umpires over to the right side, halfway between home plate and first base. And it was something that was brought up by the Orioles coach. Now he's coming out, it looks like, to address it further, and it might be a lineup issue. It looks like he's holding his lineup card. And we're talking about maybe there was a substitution out in the field. We'll see if the PA address announcer lets us know, but they're having some sort of conversation out there, as I do see an Oriole late off the bench, and that is Macy Alexander, and she was cited as a reserve, so that must be what the deal is, as she might be coming out to pitch, actually. So maybe something, I'm starting to piece this together. I don't see is that Fadden out there, number 17? Yeah, she's out there. But Macy Alexander was announced as a reserve to start the game. She's standing on the pitcher's mound with Fadden, and she's gonna occupy first base. So here it is. So Macy Alexander will occupy first base. Georgia Rose was playing first base, but I don't know if that means she's switching to a different position and someone else came out. We'll keep an eye on that and let you know. Meanwhile, in the bottom of the second, stepping into bat for the Red Knights is number 12, Maggie Wozniak. So I was mistaken. She was at the plate when Schmelzel threw out the base runner to end the bottom of the first. So that means Wozniak gets another free at bat here. And now she faces a 1-ball, no strike count here in the bottom of the second. Gabby Fadden with the delivery, and that ball is outside, maybe a bit high. So now the count 2-0 to Wozniak. So it's going to be Wozniak, Murray, and Wagner, number 5, 6, and 7, for the Red Knights to face Gabby Fadden here. That pitch is a ball, and now Wozniak draws a 4-pitch walk to lead off the bottom of the second. And that'll bring up number 7. The left fielder, Maddie Murray. She's batting .227. She'll be followed by Kylie Wagner at the first baseman. So right-hander to Fadden. And now we're going to have another substitution. It's going to be a pinch runner now for the Red Knights. Boy, there's a lot of that in softball, I've noticed, more than I remember growing up. But now checking in is number 22, Alicia Wycon, if I'm pronouncing that. Wilson, I'm sorry. Asia Wilson in to pinch run for Wozniak, and she's the catcher, and there's good reason for that, because then she can start to put her gear on, moves the game a lot faster. All right, finally, here we go. Number 7, Maddie Murray. She looks at that first pitch, and that is just inside for a ball. So a runner on, nobody out, bottom of the second. We're tied at 1. The Highway 100 rivalry, Red Knights versus Orioles. Now Gabby Fadden with the delivery, the windup, and that's hit to just eludes the shortstop as she was going to her left. Cameron Holly just couldn't quite get there in time, and now 2 base hits for the Red, or no, a base on balls, a base hit, 2 base runners, nobody out. Bottom of the second, and now stepping into bat, Kylie Wagner. Number 3, the first baseman. She's batting .229. She'll be followed by Colbert and then Von Hoff. That ball swung on first pitch, back to Fadden. She boots it. It goes to the shortstop, Holly, and she does scoop it, but that does not lead to an out. And so now that's going to be an error on the pitcher, I believe. I think that's a fair assessment. It was hit sharply, but I don't know. Depends on how compassionate one's feeling at the moment, whether you want to give that a base hit or, oh heck, let's give her a hit. So now bases are loaded. And stepping into bat, the number 9 hitter, or I should say number 8, number 5, Caitlin Culver. She's batting .255. Bases loaded. She's the designated hitter. Nobody out. A chance for the Red Knights to get a substantial lead here early in the bottom of the second. Pitch on away, no balls, 1 strike, and it's hit right back to Fadden. She misses it. Holly picks it up, gets it over to first, and in time for the out. But on the fielder's choice, the pinch runner, Asia Wilson, comes in from third, but the Orioles get that critical first out. Wait a minute. Did they call her safe at first? No, there is an out there. So yeah, okay, the scoreboard is now updated. So 2-1 now. The Red Knights take their first lead of the contest, and bases low. No, there's going to be an empty base at first. So runners at second and third for number 3, or for number, who's number 3? Wait a minute. Yeah, Marina Von Hoff. So Caitlin Colbert is put out. 6-3 if you're scoring at home for out number 1, and that brings up number 3, the number 9 hitter, second baseman Marina Von Hoff, as she swings at that pitch for strike 2. She likes to have that little running style, similar to Rowan Jansen for the Orioles. And interesting enough, they're both the number 9 hitter. All right, pitch on away from Fadden, that is high. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. The sun is behind the clouds right now. The left fielder, Sadie Lund, saying thank God. All right, pitch on away, another ball. So Fadden, 2 high pitches there, didn't fool the second baseman, Marina Von Hoff. 2-2 the count in the bottom of the second, 1 out. Nobody on first, so hard to get a double play. That ball swung on, it's down right in front of the right fielder, who was playing almost in the infield. And that's gonna be an RBI single for Marina Von Hoff, and she gives the Red Knights their 2nd run of the inning and 3rd of the night. And she takes first base. The runner on second advances to third. So runners at the corners as the head coach for the Orioles is coming out to the mound to talk it over. His team now down suddenly 3-1 in the bottom of the second with only 1 out and a runner in scoring position. And I'm not sure what there really is to say here. The pitching's been pretty good, and the Red Knights have hit it where they ain't, as they say, and they had the right play. That right fielder was so far in, and they must have had the scouting report, because she was there to make, if she'd been playing regular depth and right field, there's no way she would have had any chance of getting it, but she was right there, almost as an infielder. But that ball was hit so sharply, it was able to get down anyway. So a brilliant hit there by Marina Von Hoff, especially with the defense she was facing. Okay, now stepping into bat, number 13, the leadoff hitter, Sophie Melzis. And now the play at second doesn't fool the Orioles as they tried to entice the throw all the way down to second base to allow the runner on third to score, but the Orioles second baseman came over to cut it off and to gun down the runner going for home, should she have tried to do that. And it's number 17 on third base, Kylie Wagner. Pitch on away, but now there's runners in, 2 runners in scoring position, second and third on the stolen base, still only 1 out, so first base is open. And the count now, 2 balls and no strikes. Last time up, Melsness took Fadden deep to dead center on a frozen rope. And there's a strike call from Fadden. So 2-1 the count with 1 out. Wind still blowing hard right out of the west at 17 miles an hour. It is a breezy evening here on a Friday in St. Louis Park, and now that pitch misses, and now a 3-1 count to Sophie Melsness. She's batting .365. She's licking her chops for sure on this offering. Here it comes. Swung on and missed. Yes, she was. You see her grab her bat. She absolutely was anticipating that swing, but she's still shaking her head on it. 3-2 count now, 1 out, big out here needed for the Orioles to prevent this from getting out of hand, and that pitch gets in there. Nice spin and the quick run, and Melsness trips on first base, and she's gonna be called out, but that's gonna score the runner Wagner from third, so another run gets across on another fielder's choice. So Melsness does her job, she's gonna get the RBI, and she looks like she's okay on the trip. Let's see the replay. I thought the play by the second baseman was brilliant. There was a little bit of spin, and let's see. Yeah, I don't think the players interacted. They have that double base to prevent that, and I just think Melsness just tripped on her own accord there. She looks like she's all right. Now that first pitch hits sharply right down the third base line. The powerful Ellie Porish up to bat. Number 23, batting .468, and she's got a runner out there on third base to bring home. They've got a 4-1 lead here, 3 here in the bottom of the second. And a chance to add another one with 2 outs, and now she pretends to bunt, now pulls back, swings, pop up right to Fadden, high spin on it, and she's able to bring it into her glove nicely there for out number 3. But not before the Red Knights strike blood here as they get 3 in the bottom of the second to take a 4-1 lead after 2 complete. The score is 4-1. Due up for the Orioles in the top of the third. I think we're going to be at the top of the order. Ava Tabior, who led off the match with a triple, I expect to be leading off the top of the third for the Orioles. She'll be followed by Sadie Lund and Ella Wend. Tabior hitting .364 coming into tonight's action, followed by Lund .333 average and Ella Wend at .143. So the Orioles are going to be looking to get right back in this at the top of the third. That's always what you want to do. The mindset's got to be if they score on you, you got to at least get a run back to keep the momentum shifting back towards your own team. So we'll see if Tabior can lead off with another triple as the Red Knights are talking it over in the infield, and there's high fives all around, or low fives. It's a medium 5, right? It's not a high 5, it's not a low 5, it's sort of a, I don't know, just a 5, I guess. Give me 5 right there at the shoulder level. I guess that's what it is. Not high, it's not low, it's right in the middle. All right, now Tabior up to bat, the lefty, batting .364 to the ace pitcher, Hessian. Pitch on away, big swing by Tabior. Strike 1. So advantage Hessian. In the top of the third here, no balls, 1 strike, pitch on away. That ball sails a bit high, so count even. Tabior looking very confident there. That pitch hits Wozniak in the helmet, or hit the umpire. He is dazed, and he's gonna maybe need a little bit of attention as he walks it off. I think that hit, there he is. Ouch. Ooh, it hit his shoulder. It may have gone off Wozniak's helmet. Let's see here. No, it went, oh, it just hit him in the shoulder. That's gonna sting. I'm sure it's not the first time for that umpire though, but ouch, ouch, ouch. He is wearing, it looks like, protective padding underneath his shirt, but that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. Right here, watch this. He tries to get out of the way. Bang. Ouch. And those pads don't, I've never worn one, but there he is. He's He's keeping a stiff upper lip for sure. You might be wondering why he's still doing this, but I doubt that. I'm sure he loves it. Just like I do being here, bringing you the action at ParkTV 16 Sports. So we're taking our time here. Wozniak turns back to look at the umpire to ask him if she's okay. Oh, that speaks well of her character, doesn't it? Okay, now pitch on away. Coming up here, 2-1 the count. Swung on and missed. Strike two now. 2-2 the count to Ava Tabior. She led off the game with a triple. And that pitch is high. Hesbian. Now the count has been worked to full. Swung on and back. Boy, there was some heat on that pitch by Hessian. Tabior was ready for it. She fouls it off, and she seems to be very patient up there. 3-2 remains the count. The pitch, swung on, high pop up to short left field, and Melsness, like a pro, crossover step back into short left field, makes that catch in that wind. Shows the excellent concentration that she had as we look at that replay. Just perfectly textbook way to, just the footwork is so important in getting that play to go well for the out for the shortstop, and her footwork was perfect. So that's out number one for the Red Knights. And stepping into bat is Sadie Lund, batting .333. She's got one ball, no strikes to count. Swung on, swing and a miss, strike one. So one out here, one ball, one strike the count to the number 2 hitter, Sadie Lund. Our score 4-1. Glad you're with us here on ParkTV 16 Sports. The pitch, strike call on the outside corner, it appeared to me. Hessian now working quickly. Wind is swirling all around here in the infield as well. I'm starting to feel it in my location. And that pitch is swung on and fouled out of, not out of play, but over along the third base side. As they retrieve the ball and get it back to Hessian. Count meanwhile, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, top of the third. Pitch on away, swung and a dribbler to the first baseman, and she picks it up and easily records the out unassisted. That was number 17, Kylie Wagner. Very efficient, moves right in on that ground ball, played it aggressively, turned and ran for the base and beat the runner in no time. And that is out number 2. And now we have some more discussion, and I'm not sure what it is about. Stepping in the bat, meanwhile, will be that woman right there, Ella Wen, second baseman, number 13. She's batting .143. There's 2 outs. Or wait a minute. I am confused here. 2 outs. Yeah, I'm looking at the scoreboard and it's not caught up. Now it's caught up. All right, so I don't know what that first pitch was called. I do rely on the scoreboard quite a bit to keep me up to date. And now they show 2 strikes. So, okay, no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to the number 3 hitter, Ella Wen. So Hessian having a good inning here in the top of the third, recording the first 2 outs. Pitch out away, and it's a slow roller to the shortstop. Melsness guns her out over there. Look at the arm on Sophie Melsness. She is one heck of an athlete out there. And it's 1-2-3 for the Red Knights as they get the Orioles out in their half of the third. The score remains 4-1, and the Red Knights are due up in their half of the third, cruising with a 4-1 lead as we look at that put out by Melsness over to 17, Kylie Wagner. And there are some of the fans hanging around here. It's still sweater weather, 65 degrees, and with that wind, it feels actually a little bit cooler, I'd say, than 65, and it's mostly overcast. The sun is thoroughly blocked right now, and it looks like it's gonna be for some time. It's sort of peeking in and out here and there. Okay, we have a announced substitution at pitcher. There she is. So the head coach for the Orioles going to the bullpen early. And that looks like it is, what's that number? I can't quite tell. They're 19. So that is Presley Loberg. She'll relieve Gabby Fadden. So Fadden leaves the game at pitcher. We'll see if she shows up somewhere else in the outfield. That's often the case, so they don't announce that so much. But just looking at her stats, Loberg, she's pitched 7 2/3 inning, and her ERA is a 1.83. But clearly Gabby Fadden is their ace. She's played the majority of the games. So now we'll see if the Orioles move here makes a difference here in the bottom of the third, and due up for the Red Knights. Leading off their half of the third, that's Tibby Hessian, followed by Brooklyn Riley and Maggie Wozniak, as Hessian, the Benilde pitcher, looks at strike one from the relief pitcher, Presley Loberg. And that pitch is high for a ball, so 1-1 the count to Tibby Hessian. It was senior night or honor a teacher night, and she gets hit by that pitch by Loberg, and so Hessian will go to first base, and I think you can expect a pinch runner for her as well. Let's see. Yeah, here it comes. Or here she comes. Yeah. All right. As we look at Loberg, not a great start there, hitting the batter, and Hessian will go to the bench and give way to number 42, Alex Luke. There she is. She'll be the first base runner. Nobody out in the bottom of the third as she listens to instructions from the first base coach. And now up to bat, number 4, Brooklyn Riley. And that pitch is ball 2 to Riley. She looks down the third base line to get the sign. And the 2-0 offering is another ball. So now Loberg having control issues early on. She hits Hessian to lead off the bottom of the third, and now she's got 3 straight balls. And now that's a 4th. So that's 5 straight balls in a row. And Loberg is showing her frustration in her body language for sure, as now the first 2 runners are on. And that's on her there for the hit batsman and then the base on balls. And so now the Red Knights, the catcher, number 12, Maggie Wozniak, with runners at first and second, nobody out, a 4-1 lead in the bottom of the third. Swung on, and it's popped up in the infield, moving over, and making the catch is Holly, the shortstop. Actually, there is Fadden, number 12. Or no, that is Holly, isn't it? Yes, Cameron Holly makes that catch. And again, that wind was hard to fight, but she does get that critical first out. So now with 1 out, the left fielder, Maddie Murray, steps in and takes ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, runners at first and second, bottom of the third. Loberg looking to settle down here. She's thrown the majority of balls. I don't think she's thrown a strike at all yet in the bottom of the third. And there's another ball. I guess you could call the ball that was just hit that led to out number 1 could have been a strike, but it wasn't a called strike. And that pitch is a called strike. So that's got to settle Loberg down. That strike right at the letters makes the count 2-1 to the catcher, Maddie Wozniak, and that ball is swung on and fouled back. So strike 2. So 2 strikes in a row for Loberg. We're seeing improvement. She starts to settle down. You wonder how much warning she had before she was called to come out there. And I don't know if Fadden was hurt or they just wanted some new arm in there. Now she gets a strikeout just like that from the abyss to the promised land in pitching. She threw probably 10 balls. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but at least 5 or 6 balls. She hits batsman, couldn't find the strike zone to save her life. Then with 3 straight pitches, she gets 3 strikes and the second out with runners at first and second. They'd love to strand them here. That would give them momentum to come in and bat in their top of the fourth. I know it would me if I was out there playing. Give up 2 base runners with nobody out and nobody scores. That would definitely get me going to go hit. Now the pitch, the count now 1-1 to number 17. That's Kylie Wagner. She's the number 7 hitter at first base. 1-1, 2 outs, runners on first and second. The pitch high. So 2-1 the count. Lots of chatter from the Benilde bench here. Swung on and she just got a piece of it barely for strike number 2. So the count even, 2-2 with 2 outs. Bottom of the third. Red Knights trying to add to their lead with 2 outs. Pitch on away, and that is high again. So Loberg still struggling somewhat with that strike zone. If she lets this one go a ball, then it's going to be bases loaded. Pitch on away, and it is a ball, so she is having serious control issues as now they're loaded up. And coming up to bat, the number 8 hitter, the designated hitter, Caitlin Colbert, batting .255 coming into the evening's game. She's one of those running, swinging styles, I believe. Let's see how it works out. She does run and does get it down to left field. It's going to score a runner. And an RBI base hit for Caitlin Colbert on that first pitch. Well done. And the Red Knights get a run right here. Look at that. She just gets nice wood on that ball and just threads the needle between 3 Orioles. The left fielder was cheating up. The shortstop was cheating over, and she found that little gap between third and short. That brings up now number 3, Marina Von Hoff, with now 2 outs still. Runner, bases still loaded. 1 run across this inning. 5-1 our score. And a real chance to blow it open if a ball can get sent to the outfield. But the whole outfield is literally playing on the infield. They are really playing in. Pitch on away and a dribbler right back to Loberg, and she gets it over to Macy Alexander for out number 3. So they load the bases and score 1. I guess it could have been much worse for the Orioles, so they got to look at that as a positive, and you can see their coach chatting up their players as they come to bat in the top of the 4th, obviously trying to motivate them. He's looking around, imparting his wisdom of many years, I'm sure, in the game. And the Orioles, they're still in this. They're down 5-1. They've got plenty of time here in the 4th, but they've got to get it going here as the sun comes out again. And the wind's seemingly dying down. I think they're swirling. 1 minute you feel them down here. I'm right behind home plate and off to the St. Louis Park side of the field, and at times it feels very calm, and then I can feel the swirling wind. And just like now, I could feel a gust come up. So it's windy up there, I'd say about 100 feet. You get that ball up there in that jet stream and see you later to left center. And we already do have a home run to dead center. I don't think that was wind aided that much though. It could have been. It was sort of crosswind as Melsness hit that. I think that would have gone out even if the wind had been coming at her. She hit it so well as she let off the bottom of the 1st for the Red Knights. But it looks like we're ready to go. Hessian comes out to pitch the top of the 4th. And now Macy Alexander steps in. She's in on relief for Georgia Rose. She's now the number 4 hitter as she swings at pitch number 1 for strike number 1 here in the top of the 4th. Macy Alexander is batting .339 on the year. Swung on and fouled off and to the left, out of play in the park, not quite in the parking lot, over there by the batting cage. So now 2 strikes, the count to Macy Alexander. Excellent basketball and volleyball player for the Orioles. We've brought matches she's appeared in several times over the last year or 2. Of course, her older sister was a star volleyball player at the Orioles and basketball, Reagan Alexander. right, the 1-1 delivery from Hessian. And that is low. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch on away. 3-2 the count now. Nobody out. Macy Alexander has worked the count full. The delivery from Hessian, and I think she just got a piece of it, but it was a caught 3rd strike, so she's out. And that is a strikeout. She did foul it, just ticked it a little. That's a tick, we used to call it a tick. That's a tick ball right there, but it was caught. So that's a caught 3rd strike, they call it. A foul tip, another word for it. And now the first pitch to number 12, Cameron Holly, is going to be an infield base hit. So Holly answers and gets the first pitch and puts it right in the infield. Here's the replay. It was kind of a high bouncer, eludes the 3rd baseman, and then well, she did catch it, and that wasn't going to work well there for Melsness. So a nice infield base hit there for Holly. And now up to bat is number 15, Sam Meyer. She's batting .364, the 3rd baseman. She's the number 6 hitter with a runner on first, 1 out, top of the 4th. And that ball swung on and fouled out of play and just misses the discovery in the parking lot. A seeing eye foul ball, you might want to call that. Cars can be vulnerable around here. You always want to park far and away when you get near a baseball or softball game, if you care. And that pitch, the heat, and that is a missed 3rd strike. And now what's the call here? Oh, they're going to call her out on the strikeout. So, but Holly takes 2nd on the stolen base. So meanwhile, while that strikeout occurred, Holly took 2nd base. So we have a runner in scoring position for the Orioles, stepping into bat. Number 5. As that is ball 1. Number 5 is Cora Zumbrunen. She's the number 7 hitter. She's batting .462 and a chance to get an RBI, and she sends one out the right center, but back quickly and to her left, moving very well with also great footwork. The center fielder for the Red Knights, Ella Porich, records that out for out number 3. So the Orioles get a base runner and a stolen base, but do not score in their half of the 4th. So after 3.5 complete from McQuinn Athletic Complex, our score 5-1. You're watching Park TV 16 Sports on location, and we're streaming live on YouTube. Glad you're with us. Thought I would look at the schedule here coming up. Or no, you know what I want to talk about is let's look at the Metro West standings, because not only are they rivals because of their proximity, St. Louis Park and Benilde, but they're also in the Metro West Conference. And there is the graphic for the conference, and there you can see the Red Knights are hanging in there in 3rd place with a 6-3 conference record. In St. Louis Park, they're 2-8 in the conference. So the Red Knights have an incentive. They're trying to chase Orono, and they can get them in the win column with a win tonight. But look at Chanhassen having a stellar year in girls softball. 12-0 in the conference, 16-1 overall. And then it's definitely kind of a drop-off. And then you got Orono and Benilde kind of neck and neck there. Similar conference records and similar non-conference records at 10-7 and 9-7, and then followed by Chaska at 6-4 and New Prague. So lots of teams there actually with 6 wins: Jefferson, New Prague, Chaska, and Benilde-St. Margaret's. So an important Metro West rivalry and St. Louis Park rivalry, intra-city rivalry you can call it. Okay, now in the bottom of the 4th, stepping into bat for the Orioles is number 13, the leadoff hitter, Sophie Melsness. You'll recall last time up, she had a little issue with the first base as she went tumbling as she tried to beat out the infield hit. Wasn't able to do so and took a tumble, but she looks like she's A-okay to go here. She looks at 2 balls to start off the bottom of the 4th for the Red Knights. They have a 4-run lead at 5-1, looking to add more. And that pitch high and outside. So 3 straight balls from the relief pitcher, Presley Loberg, relieving Gabby Fadden. And that is a strike call as Melsness looks back down to the third base line. I think it's just hit away. She hit a beautiful home run to lead off the game in the bottom of the first. And that pitch is also a strike. So Loberg looked like Melsness was taking all the way on that. She clearly was. So now the count is full. No outs. Bottom of the fourth. The pitch. And she loses Melsness on 4 balls to 2 strikes. And now Melsness hustles down to first base. So a runner on first, and that means number 23 is up. That's Ellie Porsche, the center fielder. She made the last out in the top of the first. She looks down the line, and now we have a coach coming out to the pitcher, Loberg. And it's going to be interesting to see what they could be talking about. Now the head coach is talking to the umpire. That looks like an assistant coach. And I think they're talking strategy about this next hitter, Ellie Porsche. Porsche hitting .468. Melsness on first, and I think they're talking pitch strategy here. I don't expect a reliever coming in. As the head coach for the Orioles is chatting. Look at that guy, huh? Not a care in the world. Wow, what a good-looking dog. Look at that. It's like the black and white cookie. If he's one side, I think if you had a profile, you wouldn't even see the white side. That is beautiful. Oh, just loving life here, checking out the softball action. I think you can smell the hot dogs behind the stand. That's, yeah, that's what he's like, this is torture. They got a grill here. Somebody feed me, please, come on. All right, we're talking. Is she injured? She didn't appear to be injured. They keep talking to her. I don't know. There's some dance moves going on by Melsness. We got a great sound system here, so I don't know. That was a long conversation. Longer than I would have tolerated if I was the home plate umpire, but what do I know? Looks like Loberg's okay. I don't know. I'm looking to see if she's favoring any part of her body or if there's any type of injury. I don't know. She is shaking her arm, and there might be an issue that the coaches noticed. That must be it. It had to be some sort of injury that she was masking or we couldn't easily perceive. All right, but she's going to remain in there, and she pitches on away, and that's a strike, and that ball gets through the catcher. It hits the umpire right in the gut. Oh my goodness, this umpire is going to need a ice bath when he gets home. He's going to have some bruises on his shoulder and in his midsection, although he did have the protective padding, but it still hurts. It's not perfect. And now the pat hit, and it's going to be a fair ball as it drops between the infielders and the charging in right fielder and then spins into foul play, but that's a fair ball and a base hit. Watch this, just a pop-up, but that's tough. Alexander looking back, the second baseman, and she never even saw it, and boy, they put it in there like a 9-iron from 100 yards out, and then it spins to the right like a golfer. Now that first pitch hit on by number 15 for Benilde, and that's a sharp base hit by Hessian, and that's gonna advance the runner all the way to third from first and score Melsness all the way from second. So an RBI base hit for that woman right there, Tibby Hessian, their pitcher, and she gives away to number 42, Alex Luke, to pinch run, and there it was. It got out to right field in a hurry. And it's an RBI for Hessian. It's run number 6 for the Red Knights. We're in the top of the fourth, nobody out, runners at the quarter. The pitch on away from Loberg, and she took something off that as number 4 is up to bat. The number 4 hitter, Brooklyn Riley, batting .400 coming in as Loberg took something off that pitch and got Riley swinging early, and that foul ball is out of play into the parking lot as Riley looks down to the left field, left side head base coach for the Red Knights, and 2 strikes the count now to Brooklyn Riley. Loberg leading, and that ball is high. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, still nobody out, and there was a stolen base as the pinch runner, Alex Luke, took second. So now 2 runners in scoring position, and that ball goes off the backstop, and the play is not in time as from third base, number 23 comes in on the throwing error Ellie Porsche for run number 7. So Benilde now up 7-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Still nobody out, and Alex Luke, the pinch runner, advances to 3rd on the errant pitch, and now the count now is 2-2, and now it's 3-2 to number 4, Brooklyn Riley, the 3rd baseman, and she's got a chance to get an RBI, and the Benilde's 8th run, she swings on that pitch, and it's going to be just foul down the right field line. So the count will remain 3-2 as we look at number 4 for the Orioles. That's Rowan Jansen, the right fielder. She takes her position, playing medium depth, I'd say, in right field, but she is shading the right field line. Pitch on away, and that's a ball, and Riley, and now the pickoff attempt to get Alex Luke is not in time at 3rd base as she dove back just in time to avoid that. She brushes herself off, and here's that replay right here. She dives back. The throw was there in time. Had it been a little bit towards the base, I think Alex Luke would have been toast, but she did get back. So now runners at 1st and 3rd, another high pitch, and now the stolen base attempt. The throw was there, but not before the base runner got there. So now Brooklyn Riley steals 2nd. And the Red Knights have runners at 2nd and 3rd. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 4th. Loberg the pitch, and that's another ball. She really is struggling. I do think she's shaking her arm, so I don't know. She's holding her left hip there, lower back, so there might be some physical issue here going on. And now that pitch is swung on deep to left field, or no, medium deep, and back there to haul it in. Number 11, Sadie Lund. She didn't have to fight the sun, fortunately for her, because I think it's going to be coming out here again soon. But that records out number 1, and not tagging from 3rd was Alex Luke. So that saves a run, still 7-1, and now there's 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Runners still remain at 2nd and 3rd, and now stepping into bat for the Red Knights, Maddie Murray. She's batting .227. She's the left fielder, and she looks at ball number 1. Chance to get 2 more runs, and I don't know, what's the mercy rule in softball? It's the 10-run rule? I can't remember. Yeah, 10-run rule. So chance for the Red Knights to get 2 more here with a base hit. And then they need only 2 more to get to that 10-run lead. And now faking the throw down to 3rd base is Alex Luke, taking a little chance, leading off 3rd base there, trying to get an advantage. But now it's 3 balls, no strikes to Maddie Murray, and that ball is not even in the air. And so an easy walk for Murray, and Loberg is struggling with, and yeah, now the head coach is coming out. It looks like he's gonna make a change here. Loberg is really struggling. She takes her mask off. She's looking frustrated out there for sure. Understandably, yeah, there you can see her. And now the coach is gonna come out and make a change. Let's see if it's gonna be another player from the outfield or and now stepping in, that is number 6. She's coming in off the bench. Her name is Ashlyn McDonald. So she'll come in. She's a right-handed pitcher.
Now can name the circle as number 6, Ashlyn McDonald.
And I'm gonna look to see if we have a stat on her. And I don't think we do. I wonder if she's ever even pitched before. My stats that I have is that there are 4 pitchers of record on the year. Gabby Fadden, we've seen her. Loberg, Presley Loberg, she just exited. Then there's Sam Meyer, and then Olivia Greffe have pitched according to our stats, but we have not seen any pitching here for Ashlyn McDonald, number 6. So this will be interesting. Maybe her varsity pitching debut coming in here, facing a jam with runners on 2nd and 3rd as we look at the Red Knights' upcoming schedule. Well, there's St. Louis Park. Is that the last game of the year? It is. We're going to sections already, Paul. Looks like we are. So this is, I didn't even realize that. The last game of the regular season for the Red Knights. That's why it was senior night tonight. When I arrived, I could hear them commemorating the seniors and saying all kinds of nice things about them. And the pitch on away from Aslan McDonald. There she is. She doesn't wear a mask, so it's not mandatory. No hat, no mask, no glasses, nothing. Let's go. I like the attitude. 2-ball, no strike pitch, and she does get that strike. Yeah, she looks like she knows what she's doing out there. And into bat, I should mention, of course, that's Kylie Wagner batting .229. Runners are full. The bases are full. 1 out here, and a real nice chance here for Murray to pad her stats in the RBI category. If she can connect right here, she's got a hitter's pitch, 3-1. Pitch on away, and she was way behind that. Nice pitch there by Aslan McDonald. Where's she been all game? Pitching very well off the bench. 3-2 count. Bases loaded. And she walks in on the run now to lead it off. So, boy, after a promising start there, she let that runner go. And she was blowing the ball by her, Murray. But she gives up the walk, and now it's 8-1. And now stepping into bat for the Red Knights, number 5, Caitlin Colbert. She had a great at-bat last time. RBI base hit right between third and short. She has that running batting style, and it's not my favorite, but I do see it is effective for some people. As we look at Caitlin Colbert, and she runs, and oh, they called that a strike. I thought that was a little bit low. So the count now, 1-1 with 1 out. Bases loaded for Caitlin Colbert. Excellent opportunity. Pitch on away, swung on, and it's to the second baseman. They're gonna come home with it, and it misses the mark, and a runner's gonna score on the fielder's choice. And now another runner comes home as the throw comes in too late. So 2 runs score. Colbert takes second. The runner goes from first to third. Our score is 10-1. We're in the bottom of the 4th, only 1 out. And the Red Knights are cruising here at home in their final game of the season before the sections. And now stepping into bat, number 3, the second baseman, Marina Von Hoff. And she's got runners at second and third, still only 1 out, and a chance to get to that 10-run lead here with a base hit as she runs and swings and misses for strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike to Marina Von Hoff. The pitch on away, and a beautiful bunt put down, and McDonald comes in and gets the put out at home. So a great play by number 6, the pitcher, Aslan McDonald, came right in, and that was a beautiful play by the Orioles to throw out the base runner at home for out number 2. So that means Von Hoff reaches on the fielder's choice first base, and the runner advances all the way to third from second. So now we have runners at the corners, 2 outs, and Sophie Melsness is up. As she looks at strike, and Marina Von Hoff steals second. So now runners at second and third. Melsness up to bat. A dangerous time here for the Orioles. No balls, 1 strikes, 2 outs here. Bottom of the 4th, and that is a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Sophie Melsness. She came in batting .365 on the year. She hit a stellar home run to lead off the bottom of the 1st. Pitch on away, and that is high. So they can be careful with Melsness with an open base at first. Count now 2-1. Pitch on away, strike call. As Melsness watched that one all the way in. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Key pitch here with runners in scoring position. And McDonald pitches, and it's fouled straight back. So Melsness was right on the timing on that pitch. Count remains 2-2, 2 outs. Wind still gusting around here. Pitch on away, and now fouled back once again. So this has been quite the pitcher-batter duel between Aslan McDonald. She's in relief. There she is, focusing in. And the wind up the pitch, and that came out of her hand a little awkward, and that's gonna be, I think they called an, oh, that's gonna be ball 3. So now 3-2 the count. It's full for Melsness. The payoff pitch, and that misses for another walk. And that loads the bases up again, and now coming up, the number 2 hitter, the center fielder, number 8, Ellie Porish. She's batting .468 on the year. And she has got to be salivating at an opportunity with the wind blowing out. 10-1 lead here, bottom of the 4th with 2 outs and a chance. And she swings at that first pitch out to center field and right at Ava Tabier as she gets the out number 3 and leaves the bases loaded, but not before the Red Knights get their pound of flesh and they score several more runs. They now have a 10-1 lead here after 4 complete. They lead by 9, and the Orioles are due up next. As we look at some of the fans here surrounding the field, not everybody chooses to sit in the hard bleachers. They bring their chairs, they sit along that first base line on the grass and bring something to eat. And yeah, you want to bring a jacket and a blanket. It is a little chilly here, especially when we had 90 degrees like a week or 2 ago, and it was in the 70s and 80s, and now 65. It's funny how acclimated you get to the warm weathers, and boy, it would have been 3 weeks ago, we would have been loving 65 because it was 30 degrees not even 3 weeks ago. Now 65 is chilly, and once again, as the Red Knights now come out to start their warm-ups and stretching and warm-up throws. Hessian working on the mound there. And due up for the Orioles, it's expected, will be the number 8, 9, and then top of the order, number 1 hitter. So that means Victoria Schmelzel, who I believe got her first hit of the season earlier tonight. Actually, it's going to be number 4. Oh no, it is Victoria Schmelzel. Is announced. There she is, the right-hander. The umpire was blocking my view, and I saw another Oriole run over here. I go, did I miss something? But I didn't. So Schmelzel is up to bat to face Tibby Hessian in the top of the 5th, and the Orioles have their work cut out for them, down 9 runs. The important thing to remember is don't try to get it all back at once. You just got to start with a base hit. Try to get a rally going here. That pitch is swung on, so 2 quick strikes for Hessian. Schmelzel looks, swings, misses, and that's a drop 3rd strike, so they'll have to put her out at first, and they do efficiently, and that is out number 1. So Schmelzel is retired for out number 1 in the top of the 5th, and that will bring up the number 9 hitter, the right fielder, number 4, Rowan Jansen. She's batting .200 on the year, bats left. She also has that running batting style in the box. Pitch on away from Hessian, and that hits the umpire again. My goodness, and he has got to be wondering what he's done to deserve this. He's got a piece of equipment. He's going to have to walk that off. I don't know, maybe that's a sign that it's time to not do this anymore. Yeah, look at his mask got damaged. So he'll have to do a little equipment repair. I wasn't watching that replay, but I think he got hit in the face. Was it the shoulder again? But now he's got to come over and get something fixed, or I don't know. So a delay in the action once again. And there is the umpire. He's been hit 3 times today, and I'm sure that's exactly what he's emoting over there. Like, my goodness, let's see this. So the pitch came in, and the umpire, the catcher just missed it. That poor guy, he took a shot to the heart. Oh. And he's a tough guy, no question about it. He certainly appears that way. But the other thing is there's the shock effect, because you're not really expecting it, even though you should expect it, but you really don't. And he's like, these catchers, the pitchers, come on. Give a guy with a lot of wisdom a break here, man. You want me to keep coming? It's hard to find umpires. You see advertising for referees. There's a shortage. So let's protect our home plate umpires, huh? Maybe we need a nonprofit. Take up some donations. Okay, we're back underway. He looks like he's going to be okay as he calls a strike. So meanwhile, we have one out here in the top of the fifth. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to the number 9 hitter, number 4, the right fielder, Rowan Jansen. Wind still swirling and gusting to up to 17. She swings at it. Hessian comes off the mound, gets it over to first base, but not in time as Rowan gets an infield base hit as she uses her speed and the fact that she's running out of the left hitter's box, and that gives her an advantage, and she beats the throw, and that's a great camera angle by our excellent camera staff here at ParkTV 16 Sports. Now there's our center field camera giving you a great view of the pitch, and that ball swung on by Tabior, and coming over the left fielder makes the catch for the Red Knights in that win. Maddie Murray doing a nice job. And that is out number 2 for the Orioles. So Rowan Jansen does not tag up on that base, on that fly ball out. So she remains at first base, and now up to bat, the number 2 hitter, Sadie Lund. And the pitch from Hessian, a strike. So no balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on first, top of the 5th. 9-run lead for the Red Knights. Pitch on away, and that swung also out to left field, and right there, she hardly had to move, was Maddie Murray. So she records the final 2 outs in the top of the 5th. So the Orioles strand a base runner on first, and they do not score. And so it remains 10-1 here from the McQuinn Athletic Complex, and the Red Knights will come up in the bottom of the 5th. And Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, does the mercy rule, the 10-run rule, is that go into effect after 5? I believe it does. So yeah, where we're at here, if the Red Knights get 1 more run here in the bottom of the 5th, that will clinch the win, and it will be their 9th win of the year overall, their 7th in the conference. And then section pairings will probably be set this weekend. And the sections will be beginning sometime next week. Wow, it's already late spring. Sections are already coming up. And it just feels good to have things somewhat, not somewhat, they're back to normal with the pandemic. And now we've got more variants, but it feels like we're not going to be heading back to any more lockdowns anytime soon, hopefully. And it's just nice to have people at matches and things seemingly getting back to normal in the world. All right, now in the bottom of the 5th, coming up for the Red Knights, their number 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Tibby Hessian, batting .462, followed by Riley batting .400 and Mosnack batting .326. So a great chance for the Red Knights to get out of Dodge early after 5 with just 1 more run. We'll invoke the 10-run rule. If you're winning by 10 after 5, game is called. Pitch on away. Wow, that was a loopy pitch that dropped in for a strike. Wow. All right, Hessian now looks to feign to bunt with 2 strikes, no balls, but she steps back and takes a big cut at that pitch right at eye level. Count remains 0-2. Hessian with an open batting stance, so she can get those hips around and bring the bat with all the power, and she swings at that pitch. It's going to be fouled left. Foul. So count still remains 0-2. She'll be followed by Brooklyn Riley. And now that ball actually landed on top of the hitting cage there down the third base line in the outfield, and now they get it off. It kind of rolled off onto the field. And we're ready back to go. That is Aslan McDonald to pitch, and that ball is a grounder. I don't know if that's by accident or mistake or a combination of both, or intentional, I guess I should say, or mistake. Might be a little bit of both, I'm guessing. And that pitch is swung on. It's also going to be foul. She got good wood on it. Trying to catch that line down the third base side. That would bounce surely to the left and be an easy double for Hessian if she can catch that line. But that left fielder is guarding it for sure. Shaded over there anyway, and that pitch is in the dirt. So now Hessian has worked the count back to 2-2. It's even with nobody out, bottom of the fifth. The delivery from Aslan McDonald to Hessian is outside. So now Hessian was 0-2, fouled off several pitches, and now has worked herself back into this, and it's 3-2. McDonald, the pitch, and that's in the dirt, and that's going to be a walk. So Hessian got her money's worth at that at bat, and now she'll come off and give way to her pinch runner. That's Alex Luke, number 42. There she is. And look to see if they do send her stealing, although the Orioles have an excellent catcher in Victoria Schmelzel. She already threw out a base runner earlier, and she does check the runner at first, and Luke decides not to go as McDonald, the pitcher, delivers strike number 1 to number 4. That is Brooklyn Riley, the third baseman. She comes in batting .400. Winning run on, or I should say it's the clinching run. The winning run would have been the one that was the second run. So the clinching run, since it's the mercy rule in play, is at first. 1-1 the count, swung on, ball hit out to Tabior, and she doesn't able to catch up with it, but going slow to second base was the pinch runner Alex Luke, but then she did giddy up on her horse just in time to slide into second base before the outfielders could recover and get the ball in the second base to force the out. So now, in the bottom of the fifth with that base hit, and you judge for yourself, that's a base hit. Tabior coming over hard, couldn't quite get there, and I would say that's a base hit. So now runners at first and second. The clinching run now at second, and up to bat is Maggie Wozniak, the catcher, batting .326, a solid base hit, should clinch it. And that ball is swung on, and it goes right through the glove of the third baseman, and coming around and tripping, that was actually Halsey. Here's that sharply hit ball. I would call that a hit too. Number 15, Sam Meyer, couldn't quite bring it in. She might want to check the webbing of her glove, but that ball was hit a ton. It was a rocket. That's why I would give it a base hit. It was hit too well. And I think it was just too fast for the third baseman to react. So now we have a meeting at the mound for the Orioles. And the bases are loaded, nobody out. The clinching run is on third base. And now the head coach for the Orioles is calling in all three outfielders, and I'm wondering if he's not gonna load up the infield, because that's the play here. If you're trying to prevent the loss at the 5-inning mark, you bring the infield in and you gotta cut the runner off from third to home, and so you're hoping for a infield hit, and you play in so that you have time to get the ball and force out the runner at home plate. You wouldn't have to tag the runner, you just gotta throw her out as if you were throwing out a runner to first base. And that's my guess is why he brought them all in. I can't believe he's gonna have them all go run back out there, but maybe he is. No, let's see. All right, the infield is in though. So you can see the infield is in, and so are the outfield, and that is to prevent the runner from scoring from third, because it's game over if she gets in. And up to bat for the Red Knights to try to clinch it is Maddie Murray. So the left fielder, number 7, Maddie Murray, base hit, and boy, the infield is really in. Pitch on away, swung on and fouled sharply to the right side. Strike 1 to Murray. So the Orioles are absolutely doing the right play here. You'd think, why bother? You're down 9 runs. Well, you got to play the game the right way. And when you play the game the right way, this is what you do when you're trying to prevent the runner from scoring at home. And now a nice block by the catcher. Number 16, Victoria Schmelzel. She took that off the chest protector as well. That had to sting. And you know, it's just cool enough where it would sting. If it was really warm temperatures, getting hit by the ball. And there's a shot right to the right fielder, and it goes off her knee and her thigh, and she's gonna be hurt. But all these runs are gonna score, 2 score, but I think they're only gonna count 1 of them, and that's gonna be the game. And I'm watching her in right field. That is Rowan Jansen. And here's the clinching hit. And it was well hit. Right sharply, and it went down, and that's a base hit, by the way. And then it hit her right there in the thigh, and that is a stinger. And so our final here, the Red Knights clinch it and win in 5. Our final score is 11-1. And it's the final home game, regular season, for the St. Louis Park Orioles and the Benilde-St. Margaret Red Knights. So for Paul Broden, our producer, and everyone connected with our production here at ParkTV 16 Sports, our final score is 11-1. My name is Robert Christensen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again.